She told me she had a 3-bedroom apartment, and on getting here, she was actually squatting with the gate man in a boys' quarter. Lagos girls are mean as fuck. What's the meaning of an OS? I don't know. And as a pretty girl, they're gonna think you're proud. You're gonna get a lot of people just hating on you basically because of the way you look. A lot of people are living fake life. You guys remember when BBL was a thing? Now this video is for the top 1%, and if you're not on that list, just keep scrolling, okay? Actually, you're on that list, so watch. Hi lovelies, it's your girl Lisa the Boss Babe, and if you're new to my channel, don't forget to click on the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you can be notified whenever I share a post. Now here is 5 things I wish I knew before moving to Lagos. Pretty Girls Edition. So if you're a girl and you're planning to move to Lagos, you need to watch this video. For context, I moved to Lagos a little over a year ago, and here are a list of things I wish I knew before moving to Lagos. I'm gonna be listing out these things in no particular order, so let's start with number 1. The number 1 thing I'm going to be talking about today is the cost of living. I know you've heard a lot about the cost of living in Lagos, but I'm here to tell you that the rumors are actually true. Wait, what were you expecting me to say? Of course it's true. It's freaking expensive to live in Lagos. Now, Lagos is divided into 2 main areas. We have the mainland and we have the island. And these 2 places are divided by a bridge, which is popularly known as the 3rd Mainland Bridge. The mainland is known as the more affordable areas, while the island is a little bit expensive. No, I'm not gonna kid you. It's a lot expensive. Now, if you're coming to Lagos, you are gonna need to stay on the island because that's where things are going down. That's where a lot of things are happening. And basically, my whole explanation today is going to be based on the island because this is where I live. And talking about the cost of living on the island is basically where everything is accessible to you, but it's freaking expensive. Bruh. When I talk about expensive, I'm talking about the cost of living, transportation, feeding, fashion, lifestyle. Everything is basically expensive. Now, is it worth it? That is relative. I don't know about that, but I know that if you want to come to Lagos, you best be on the island because that's where everything is going down. You're gonna have the opportunity to meet a lot of celebrities. You're gonna have an opportunity to meet a lot of VVIP people that might probably be the right connections to make in life. The cost of living is freaking over the top. You can hardly even get a self-contained for anything less than 2 to 3 million naira. You can only find a way of going by through an Uber, which is freaking expensive as well. As someone that just moved to Lagos, I am comparing the prices with most of the places I've stayed, and I can tell you that Lagos is by far more expensive in terms of transportation than any other place. Feeding as well is freaking expensive. You need at least 50,000 naira to have a good 3 square meal for one day, and I'm talking about one person. So that's on that. But if you ask me if it's worth it, I would say I don't know. So that is relative. So in summary, everything here is freaking expensive. Number 2 is, as a pretty girl living in Lagos, whether living or visiting, one thing you should have at the back of your mind is that everybody is gonna assume that you're an OS. What's the meaning of an OS? I don't know. It's not my page that I'm gonna be telling you the meaning of an OS. Go ask Twitter fam, they're gonna give you the breakdown of that. So if you're living here, you just need to be comfortable with the fact that as a pretty girl, everybody's gonna assume that you're an OS. That doesn't make you an OS. You cannot control what people think. This is just how they think. But this is something I wish I knew before coming here. It was a little bit harder for me to come in terms with that. But with time, I decided to, I got used to it and I understood how things work here, given the fact that a lot of girls that are here are into that. So it's really hard for people to differentiate if you're that or if you're not that. So put it at the back of your mind that men are going to approach you based on the knowledge of them thinking that you're an OS. A lot of people have even approached me as a person and they end up apologizing because this is just what happens here and they tend to generalize. It's a form of stereotype and I guess we cannot control that. So this is something I wish I knew before moving to Lagos, but now that I moved to Lagos, I know how to handle it. Now let's move to number 3, and in this number 3 topic, oh my god, I don't even know where to start and I don't know when I'm going to start. Number 3 is the fake life in Lagos. As a matter of fact, too much is an understatement because I cannot speak enough about this particular topic. The amount of people living fake life here is just so underestimated. Like, as a matter of fact, 85% of people living in Lagos are living basically to impress a certain amount of people. That is, a lot of people are not even as true as they seem. On social media, a lot of people are living fake life. Now, I'm not talking about any particular gender, because guys, girls, everyone is living fake life. Story time. Let me tell you guys about how I first visited Lagos and what really went down. Okay, so I had this friend that came to Lagos. She has been staying in Lagos for a little about a year, and she also came to visit a friend of her that stayed in Lagos. And I think that friend of hers has been here for a long time, maybe 5 years. I think she grew up here basically. So that friend invited her, and then she came to Lagos and she stayed for like a year. And we got talking. I was in school then. I think I was about like 19 or thereabout. And then she invited me to like come to Lagos. And of course, like, it's not like when someone just said come, I'll come. But then she made up a whole bunch of story and she told me to come. She told me she had just moved to Lagos in like a year, and she has a 3-bedroom apartment and she has a car. And I was like, whoa. I was extremely excited for her, to be honest with you. There was literally no bad blood. I was just happy for her, and I was like, wow, if you say I should come, of course I will come. I'll be so happy, to visit Lagos. I've never been to Lagos all my life, and like, it's good to come and see what's really going down there. And then I came from school to come visit, and guess what? This girl was literally living in a boys' quarter. Now, there's nothing wrong with living in a boys' quarter, except when you're actually squatting with the gate man in a boys' quarter. Like, this was exactly what happened. She told me she had a 3-bedroom apartment, and on getting here, she was actually squatting with the gate man in a boys' quarter. And when I found this out, immediately I took my bag, I took my things, and I ran back to school. To her, it was quite normal because a lot of people do it, and she decided to go along with the trend. But it was very devastating for me because she was a friend. I never thought she would do that kind of thing to me. Maybe she thought I wasn't going to come at the end of the day, and then she just wanted to, pull some strings and lie about it. And then I came at the end of the day and saw the whole thing. And I'm sure she was disappointed. But that's just it. A lot of people here lie about their source of living, lie about what they do, lie about their whole life. So if you're coming here based on what you see on social media or what you see on the internet, just scrap that. Make sure you know this person to their home, to where they live, everything, before you try to take that risk to come based on what someone told you. Because trust me, a lot of people are not evil themselves. They're not even what they seem on social media. They make up stuff on social media to make people believe something that isn't real. So if it comes to that, do not fall victim, even as a girl, to your fellow girls, or as a guy, because especially the guys, actually, especially the guys, there are so many people that are not who they seem to be on social media. So try not to fall victim for that. Now to number 4, and this one is very important to you as a girl. If you're a pretty girl coming to Lagos, you should know that Lagos girls are mean as fuck. Madam Joyce was right. Lagos girls are mean as F. Now, this has nothing to do with you. This may be based on their personal experience. But story time, I had a bad experience. I went to an event, and when I got to this event, me and this girl locked eyes because she just came in and then she looked at me. Now, I get this a lot because people tend to look at me. Maybe they like my outfit or they like the way I look. So I'm used to this stuff. People stare. And when this girl came in, we locked eyes, and I just like removed my eyes and continued doing what I was doing because I don't think it's appropriate to stare at someone. And she came in with a guy and another female friend, and they came and they sat off all the table because there were lots of free table there. They came in and they sat close to the table next to us. You understand? So I don't know what she was trying to do, but maybe I just guessed, okay, she likes that table, and I just moved on with my life because obviously I went there to have fun with my friends. And she picked a seat that was closer to me, and I just said, okay. I thought nothing of it basically. And this girl was like looking at me. It was a karaoke event, so like everyone was singing and stuff like that. And she, I'm gonna talk a lot about this story some other time. But basically, at the end of the day, she ended up almost breaking a bottle on my head, and she said I was rude for not trying to have a conversation with her. Keep it at the back of your mind that I went with my own friends. I'm supposed to be having fun with my friends, not with a random girl I just saw. So the fact that she didn't get the attention that she wanted from me pissed her off, and this led her to almost want to break a bottle in my head. That was just like a month into coming to Lagos, and that actually gave me PTSD. Now, if I just see a random girl, I look away. I want nothing to do with you, nothing. And I don't know if that also make me a mean girl, but that's just something I've learned, because the more you try to be friends or try to be cool with them, they expect more and more. And then as a pretty girl, they're gonna think you're proud. You're gonna get a lot of people just hating on you basically because of the way you look. So a lot of girls in Lagos are not nice to pretty girls. So if you're a pretty girl coming here, you need to know that Lagos girls are mean as F. So I was able to deal with that. I've been able to handle dealing with people staring at me. I've been able to handle dealing with girls at an event. So I'm basically just putting this out there. Don't expect everybody to be all jolly jolly with you when you come, because a lot of people are insecure, and if they see that you're pretty or they like you dress better than them, they don't interpret that in a nice way. They're automatically gonna go into fight mode. Madam Joyce was saying something about girls being mean to her, and I totally understand that because I've had that experience, and I'm going to be sharing that with you guys on another video. So in summary, that's pretty much it. Girls are not nice here. So just come, mind your business. Don't think about stuff too much. Learn a lot from the vibe that people give you. If the vibe isn't good, if it's negative, focus on yourself. Do what you want to do and get out of there. Number 5 is there will always be a trend when it comes to Lagos girls. It either has to do with your looks, fashion, hair, whatever. Who remembers when BBL was a trend? I think that was in the early 2020s or so. And a lot of people were like doing BBL. If you come to Lagos, everyone was doing BBL. I wasn't there at that time, but BBL was never my thing. So it doesn't matter what the trend was. I was never going to fall for that. And now, unfortunately, BBL is no longer a trend. I think what is in trend now is like Ozempic, where everybody's losing weight. I don't know how that happened. I don't know how that came about, but that's the trend now. We also have the Lagos frontal as a trend. There was also a time when bone straight was a trend, that every girl needed to have bone straight. Do you remember that? The major thing you should take out of this is that trend always come and go. There will always be a trend when it comes to lifestyle, fashion, looks. It is always never enough. I don't know. That's what I see. That's what I assume. So when it comes to the trend, just wait for it to come and go. Do not pressure yourself to do things because every other person is doing it. Live the life you want to live. Do not live by anyone's rule. That's what I always tell myself. Live life based on your own terms. There will always be a trend, but then there will always be you. Bonus point will also be to know that there's a lot of classism going on here. That is, people classify you based on how you look, how you communicate, and how you dress. So if you know how to carry yourself, that would be a plus sign. That's not supposed to be part of the top 5, but I'm just leaving that in here as a bonus point. Yeah, as I round up, I'm going to be telling you guys that if you're coming to Lagos, invest in your security. As we all know, Nigeria does not protect women in any way. Personally, I always go out with my taser and pepper spray. This is basically because I know it's not safe. Always be home right on time. Do not be at the wrong place at the wrong hour. We need to learn to prioritize our security above any other thing. So I just wanted to chip in this before I close for today. I'm going to be sharing a lot more about Lagos fashion and lifestyle because that's what I love to do. So click on the subscribe button and make sure that you follow my channel. Until I see you guys in the next post. So remain blessed and remain the pretty girl you are. Do not let anything dull your shine. Always know that I'm always in your corner. I love you. I cherish you. Happy Eid and happy Easter celebration. I love you guys. Bye now.